guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Dave.
And collectively, none of this is real.
That's right.
No, none.
None of it whatsoever.
Did you notice I said I'm Office Bloke Dave?
Yeah, I did.
Proving it's not real.
Well, there you go. We are the Office Blokes. We have 2 other YouTube channels. We've got a Patreon page. We've got social media, all that good stuff, and some brand spanking new merch. I was going to say clink in the description.
No, don't do any of that.
Clicking up words there.
Classic.
Clink in the description, and yeah, it'll take you everywhere you need to go. And we do appreciate the support. Massively. Is reality real? The simulation argument. Do you know anything about?
Fuck knows what that even means.
Simulation theory.
Well, I've sort of heard bits and bobs over the years, but I'm a huge skeptic about things like this and conspiracy theories. So.
Spoken like a true robot there, Mike.
Hey.
You're one of them, aren't you? I've heard a lot. I don't believe it personally, this idea that we're in a simulation, but I think the scientist way of saying it is you can't disprove that we're not, or something, or you can't prove that we're not in a simulation, which makes it plausible. That's what I gather, but who knows? But I think this could be an interesting bit of a mind boggler, so we'll go for it.
Go on.
Is reality real? The simulation argument. Let's do this.
Are unable to experience the true nature of the universe unfiltered. Our senses and brains can only process a fraction of the world. So we have to use concepts and tools to learn about the true nature of reality. Technological progress not only widened our knowledge about the universe, it also made us aware of unsettling possibilities. In the future, it might become possible to simulate entire universes. But if this is an option, how can we know that it's not already happened? What if we are not creators, but creations? Is it possible that we are not real and we don't even know it?
Mind-boggling already, isn't it?
If our current understanding of physics is correct, then it's impossible to simulate the whole universe with its trillions and trillions of things. But we don't actually need to anyway. We only need enough universe to fool the inhabitants of our simulation into thinking that they're real. Who needs billions of galaxies? We only need the space our subjects are allowed to explore.
The vast universe could just be a flat projection, and they would have no way to know.
What about small things like cells or bacteria? We don't really need them. When you use a microscope, what you see could be instantly created. Same with atoms. The chair you're sitting on right now does not need to be simulated with quadrillions of atoms. We just need the outermost layer of it. It might be empty inside until you decide to break it open. Your body might feel like it's filled with bubbly things, but it might be empty until you open it. The minimum requirement for our simulation is only the consciousness of our virtual humans. Our subjects just need to think the simulation is real. Okay, so are we being simulated? Well, maybe. But there are a few conditions that need to be met. Obviously, we have no authority over this topic, so please take everything we say with a grain of salt. Based on a modified version of the original simulation argument by Nick Bostrom, we have 5 assumptions for you. If they're true, you, dear viewer, are living in a simulation.
You got to be careful the disposition of some of the people that watch things like this, because it's going to tip some people over the edge.
I can imagine. Yeah.
They don't think they're real.
Option 1. It's possible to simulate consciousness. Nobody knows what consciousness is. For the sake of argument, let's assume that you could generate consciousness by simulating a brain. Brains are pretty complex.
If you count every interaction between synapses as one operation, your brain runs at about 10 to the power of 17, or 100 million billion operations per second. Let's generously assume we need 10 to the power of 20 operations to simulate 1 second of human consciousness. But we don't want to simulate just one human, we want to simulate all of human history at once so we can skip around. Let's say we want to simulate 200 billion humans with an average lifespan of 50 years. 1 year has 30 million seconds, times 50 years, times 200 billion humans, times 10 to the power of 20 operations.
So we need a computer able
That's a big number. I don't even know what it is. I guess that's it. 3E plus 40.
Yeah.
I thought I had giraffe. The answer.
I had bagged potatoes. But anyway.
To handle 1,000,000 trillion operations per second. More operations than there are stars in the observable universe. A computer like this is just impossible. Except maybe it isn't. Assumption 2. Technological progress will not stop anytime soon. If we assume that technological progress continues in a similar fashion as it has so far, then there might be galaxy-spanning civilizations with unlimited computer power at some point. Beings on a technology level so advanced that we could barely distinguish them from gods. A computer that can handle 1,000,000 trillion operations is serious business, but there are actually concepts for computers which could handle this. The Matryoshka brain is a theoretical megastructure made up of billions of parts orbiting a star feeding on its radiation. A computer of this scale would have enough power to simulate many thousands, if not millions, of humanities at the same time. Other technologies, like high-end future quantum computers, might lower the size drastically, so it might be possible to do this with a structure the size of a large city, or even smaller.
Do you ever think that I've said this on previous videos, that some scientists might have too much time on their hands and they're that clever that people can't disprove what they're saying? So
exactly. Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's say, well, prove us wrong sort of thing. But
who's coming up with a concept of a computer that wraps around a star and feeds off its radiation?
Exactly, yeah.
What are you talking about?
They said at the start
Saying
as
that's
well.
the only way you're going to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I get
that's
that.
about
But
how you'd need.
someone has to have thought of that and come up with some rough design for it and a concept behind it.
Maybe not something.
Aliens.
Well, that's what we might be the fucking a fish might be an alien. That's what we were saying the other day. It could be anything.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Only if there's still someone around to build the computer. Assumption 3. Advanced civilizations don't destroy themselves.
It could be the case of what I'm saying is, look, we can make humans build a computer, a small little tiny computer, and they're simulating that to prove a point.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're the test. We're the lowest species. Look how stupid these are. Let's see if we can make them eventually build a computer over the next 40 years and build a motor car, and build transportation, and build something to fly on. Let's see how they can do. That's what they're saying. I don't fucking agree with it, by the way.
Well, technically, it's been over like thousands of years, wasn't it?
That's what they're saying. That's what you said at the start, didn't he?
So
The advances in technology
Over history.
haven't, though. Probably since the Industrial Revolution.
But that's what
isn't
he
it?
said at the start as well. You're never going to stop technological advancement.
Yeah, and it's going exponentially
Yeah.
as well. So the idea is it's going to get that ridiculous that another 100 years we're not even going to know it's going to be that.
But whoever they are, may be pushing that on us to say this is how you develop the next stages, the next stage of all this bullshit we're listening to.
If there is a point at which all civilizations destroy themselves, this whole discussion ends here. Looking into space, you'd expect a universe filled with millions of alien civilizations, but we see nobody. The reason for this might be great filters. Great filters are barriers life has to overcome, like nuclear war, asteroids, climate change, or a black hole generator. If life is inherently self-destructive, then there are no simulations. We explain this in more detail in our Fermi paradox video. Assumption 4. Super advanced civilizations want to run simulations. When we speak of post-human civilizations, we don't know what we're dealing with. To think we know what beings as powerful as gods want is pretty arrogant.
That's what I was saying.
yeah,
Super civilizations want to train us how to be super civilized.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or maybe we're just in a
we've
fish
got
tank
loads-
somewhere.
We've got loads of bullshit which we're having to deal with. And they're saying, let's filter out because they can't do that. They can't get over wars. They can't get over, everything else that goes with it. Let's sprinkle a little bit of religion in there, a bit of politics.
So if all this was true, it'd have to be for a reason, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There'd have to be a point to it.
Yeah, be a
For
scientific
simulation.
reason for technological advancement. Buying into this, me.
I know. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised.
Imagine the smartest ant on Earth living next to an amusement park. It's curious about what humans are up to, so you try to explain. Unfortunately, the ant just doesn't understand. The concept of roller coasters and standing in lines and holidays and fun doesn't make sense to an ant living an ant life. It's the same with us and a post-human being. Compared to them, we are ants. Running simulations for fun or science might be an absurdly stupid idea to them. But if they do want to run simulations for whatever reasons, and assumptions 1 to 3 are true too, then the chances are not zero that you are living inside a simulation. Assumption 5. If there are a lot of simulations, you are probably inside a simulation. If there are simulated civilizations, it's likely that there are a lot of them. After all, we assume that post-human beings have access to practically unlimited computing power. So if they run simulations, it would be convenient to run millions or even billions of them. If there are billions of simulated universes, there are probably trillions and trillions of simulated conscious beings, which would mean that the vast majority of all conscious beings that will ever have existed are simulated. So for every conscious being made of flesh, a billion simulated ones exist.
Since we have no way of knowing if we are simulated or not, in this case, the chances of you being one of the 999,999,999 simulated ones are pretty high. So what you consider reality might not be real at all. You really might be simulated.
All of this is based on a lot of assumptions that we can't really test right now, so many scientists disagree with this whole thought experiment. So don't burn your house down to test if there will be glitches. If you are simulated, not that much changes for you. You might be on a small planet speeding through eternal nothingness, or a simulation inside a computer. Your existence does not become more or less scary and bizarre. All we can hope to do is try to live good lives and have a good time. And hope that if we actually are simulations in a supercomputer, nobody trips over the power cable.
Oh no. I think I just unplugged the simulation. But what if that doesn't matter? What if we are in one right now? What if you are simulated?
Jake over at Vsauce 3 is looking into that. Click here to watch his video.
I can confirm that the Office Blokes are not simulations.
Stimulated.
Or deepfakes. I'm surprised how much you got into that.
No, I was just understanding what they were saying.
Yeah.
But I love how you went from, is it a simulation and suddenly aliens and stuff. But when I showed you the UFO videos, you're like, nah.
No, I don't believe these UFOs like that. I don't think that's not what I'm getting at. It could be a super race, a super...
Got to be careful with phrases like that.
Super being that we don't know about. You know, it's just controlling, like they say there, billions and billions of different simulations.
Yeah.
And they're just testing out where to go with the next, how to raise the next super beings.
They'd have to have technology and intelligence sort of way beyond what we could even think about, wouldn't they?
Well, we're
to be anything like that.
We're currently working on AI, aren't we? That's what people are trying to achieve.
Yeah.
All it needs is for an AI that someone's built to become conscious. Then that is a simulation of consciousness inside a computer that we've created. Yeah. And then once that is done, it can self-replicate or whatever. And then suddenly that's
real. It's like a pyramid sales scheme.
I get it now.
Yeah, you see, yeah. As soon as we build one, then we own that civilization. Then they'll build one, and then it'll spread out like that, and we'll be the creators of billions of different civilizations.
Yeah. I think it's plausible that there will be simulations that, you know, AI is cracked one day, and then it kind of filters down from there. But I don't know. How do you prove it?
Yeah. Well, exactly. How do you prove it one way or the other, I suppose.
So. I just ain't having that argument in the pub at fucking 11 o'clock on the night. Just after the England game.
It'd be a mess, wouldn't it?
You got to remember, I spent
most of the time and a place in there, I think.
I spent most of my teenage years smoking weed, didn't I? So I've had all these conversations
I'm sure you
times
have,
over, and I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, I don't want to be going into that.
No.
But anyway, it's quite interesting.
Yeah, interesting
good
stuff,
one,
though. Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed that too. And if you tune into our other simulation, simulation, we can stimulate you in the other simulation. Yeah, and you'll find that video again in the next 35 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.